to my new subscribers over the weekend. I appreciate your subscribing. I wanted to give a couple comments on the pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it. A gentleman in the U.S., Larry Brilliant, just came out saying we are nowhere near the end of this pandemic, which is what I said in a video 3 months ago. And then I looked at some of the numbers. Canada has overtaken the U.S. in terms of its citizens being fully vaccinated. We're up to about 60%. America's at 50%. And surprisingly, or not, depending on your opinion, China is at 10%. I have a lot of friends in China. They're a little reluctant to get the vaccine. But what is most surprising, or not, depending on your opinion, is that the Chinese vaccines, as someone who knows about this told me, they only last for 6 months there. So that's not good. Pfizer's saying their efficacy is 93%, and the other one's a little less. AstraZeneca, much less. So this is a problem. And as someone brilliantly said, let me see if I get this quote correctly, until we are all vaccinated, no one will be safe. Because there can be new mutations. If the virus is able to replicate, then we can have a new mutation, and then of course people are going to be vulnerable again, no matter double vaccinated, booster, no matter what. If a new virus comes along, they are vulnerable. And so we're all vulnerable until we're all vaccinated. And then you look at Africa, their vaccination rate is, to be kindly, it's very low. And so part of the problem is we're not giving them the vaccine selfishly. And then in the US, you have about 40% of people who are refusing to be vaccinated. For whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. Although I will say, Joe Rogan seems to be doing a good job at empowering people not to get vaccinated. And now the ICU beds in Austin are pretty much full. So good job, Joe Rogan. That's sarcasm for anyone who's not really familiar with it. So I think he's doing a disservice, and we need to be paying full attention to this issue until it's solved, and it's not going to be solved for a long time, so be very careful. I used to be made fun of quite a lot because I'm very hygienic, and people would say, oh, my best friend in Toronto, who's no longer my friend, but she used to say, what, do you have OCD? And I thought this was a little childish. There's nothing wrong with being hygienic, and now it's paying off in spades because I have nothing to worry about. As long as you're hygienic and you're social distancing and you're vaccinated, you shouldn't be in any danger. The only people they're reporting, or the majority of people who are in hospitals now, are those who are unvaccinated. So they'll have to explain to their family why they chose not to. There was a gentleman who was in the US. For a long time he said, oh, you don't need to get vaccinated. And then on his deathbed in the hospital he said, I made a mistake. Well, I hope for your sake you don't make the mistake he did. What you need to know is out there, get vaccinated. Okay? So I'd love any comments people want to leave. I love reading comments in other videos, and I'd like to get people start commenting on mine. Okay, thanks very much.